In this video, we're going to show you how to create static blocks and what static blocks even are. So at first, let's go to CMS static blocks. Now let's see, we have footer links, cell phone landing, and electronics landing. Now these are all pretty different, so this might explain the concept of what static blocks are. If you click on footer links, you can see it's just a list of About Us, Customer Service, and Privacy Policy. We saw this static block in the last video when we were looking down here in the footer. We had About Us, Customer Service, and Privacy Policy. This group of 3 links right here is a static block. Now, if we go to the electronics page, we'll also see this image right here. If we go to our CMS section in the back end under static blocks and we click on electronics landing, you'll see that we have these images. Well, these images are these images right here. In fact, static blocks are just blocks of content that can be placed on the page. And now static blocks can be placed at the tops of categories like these static blocks, or they can be placed in the footer like these static blocks. And you can even place static blocks using widgets, which we'll go over in the next video. Right now, we just need to know how to create a static block. First, let's just edit the footer links block and add our hat information to this list. Now I can just type in hat information, select it, and add a link. And this will just be to hat-information. And now if we save this block, come back to our page, we refresh. If we scroll down to the bottom, we now see that hat information is here. Well, we can see that it's missing the pipe in between it. Let's investigate why that would be. If we come to our static blocks and go to footer links again, it looks just fine here, so those pipes must be being created with CSS. If we click the Show Hide Editor, we can see that this list item was given a class of last and privacy, as well as this hat information. Well, if we remove this class of last, our pipe should come back. So let's click Save Block. Now if we refresh, perfect. We have added a link down here and we've edited a block. Well, let's create a block. Come back to static blocks, all we have to do is click Add New Block. And of course, just like our static page, we could add anything in here. So let's just paste in some body text like we had before. I'm actually going to make a heading. It's going to be Important Hat Info. And this is just going to be a header 2 right here. And this will be great. It's going to be for all store views. It's hat info block is the name. And this again is going to be in all lowercase with hyphens. So this identifier is going to be used anytime that you want to reference this block. And the reason why it's in all one word, so you're using only lowercase and you're using either hyphens or underscore, it's just so this is a unique identifier for this block. If you had something like the title to identify the block, it might not be as easy because with the variation in capital, lowercase, and spaces. So the identifier needs to be here, so it's something that you can refer to this block as. So it's hat info block and then hat info block. It's enabled, and here's our block. Let's click Save Block. Now we can get this to display on our hat category page. So if we go to Catalog, Manage Categories, if we find our hats category, click Hats, we can go to Display Settings, and under here it says Display Mode, Products Only. If we select Static Block and Products, and then select our static block, which is the hat info block, save our category. Now, if we go to the Hats page under Apparel, you'll see our important hat info block is showing up